Well, you know, actually the conditions have changed slightly from what we've had. The last 2 mornings have been kind of cool, been really warm in the afternoon, sunny. Last night it didn't get near as cold, which I really like that. It feels warm. You know, it was in the 60s last night. It's cloudy. We had a day like that in practice where the fish really bit. I think today's a better chance of just going out there fishing for them rather than, you know, trying to sight fish. And I've probably been doing more fishing. I'm fishing beds. I can see the bed. I try to stay back and fish the bed before the fish can see me. And a lot of times I don't know what size the fish is. Like yesterday on the 10-10, is a huge bed and I'm making long casts to it and the fish bites me the first cast. And I find that happens a lot if they don't see you. Bait-wise, and this is going to be a better day, one of the big deals, how I found all my fish this week, is with the new Strike King cutter worm. Which is a swimming worm. I mean, it's going to be a great flipping worm or whatever, but it's just a great worm. I put on an 1/8 ounce Strike King tungsten weight, and I'm just casting it, 50-pound braid, and I'm just winding it around in these bedding areas. And so what I tried to do during practice was I tried to find the dirtiest water, the hardest place to see, the place where the beds were the deepest, and that eliminates the sight fisherman. And when the conditions are right now, I can see in those areas, but every morning I'm starting with that cutter worm, I'm swimming it around, and then I'm switching basically the same way I caught them the last time we were here, either to a black and blue rodent on a 5/16 ounce slip sinker, depending if the wind's bad, or really my key bait this week has been a shimmy stick, black with a blue tail, 1/8 ounce tungsten slip sinker. I'm fishing it on 20-pound gamma fluorocarbon, and I'm just blind fishing the holes. I can see the beds, but I'm, you know, and just, you have to be real deliberate. You can get out there in the dark and pitch around these beds, and if that bait does not land in the bed, the strike zone is this big. And I've noticed that when it comes to a bed, even though I can catch a lot of them the first cast, you just have to be real deliberate and fish that bed. Every bed I throw on, I have to fish it like I know there's a fish there, even if there's not. And it may be every 10th bed that I get bit on, and I catch the male or the female. And I've done a little bit of sight fishing. You know, when I spot one out there, of course, I lock down and fish for it. But something about Florida, something about the spawn, that cutter worm, and just any kind of straight tail worm seems to be the deal. Florida fish are really different. You know, other places, you know, I pitch a jig to them sometimes, you know, on northern fish, but Florida fish, that shimmy stick really seems to be the deal. I've caught them every time we've been here on it, either weightless or with the light slip sinker. They just like the straight tail worms.